Hello students, in this video we'll be discussing about if-else. If-else is used to check different conditions occur in any program. If you want to solve any problem, you will encounter some conditions where you need to check some condition or you need to compare to if-else. This video will be including example as well as the different aspects of if-else. For example, we'll be using dev C++ for writing programs, for running the programs, and I will be sharing my screen so that you can see what I do on dev C++. If you have any kind of query, you can write as comment in the comment section of the video. And if you have any kind of problem regarding the things I used in this program, which already discussed in the last video, so please go through the last videos. There are 3 videos, and come back to this video and watch it. I am sharing my screen. So you can find out the lectures I already uploaded. This is the channel, YouTube channel, Learn Digital. So here I have uploaded. This is my channel. Here you can see the different videos I have uploaded one by one. Here, this is the first lecture. These are the videos. So here is the first lecture, second, third, and now I am recording the fourth lecture. And this fourth lecture is actually a live video. It will be automatically stored in the video section of YouTube. And the last 3 videos actually pre-recorded. So let's start. So before we go to dev C++ to solve some C programs using if-else, let us discuss why do we need if-else in program. In any kind of condition checking, in normal linear programs you are writing instructions, and all these instructions are executed. No instruction will be skipped in normal programming. Suppose if you want to calculate some basic simple interest, some total salary of any employee, this sort of program, they are linear in nature. Means in those programs whatever instructions you write, everything will be executed to solve the problem. But you will encounter some problem in C program or in problem solving, where you need to check variables, you need to check values, you have to compare values with another. In that situation, what you have to use if else. This basic mechanism of if else is there is a section of if, then where the condition will be checked. If the condition is true, that means if the condition is satisfied according to the condition, according to the logic what you have written as condition, then if it is true, then some sort of block of statements will be executed. If you want to do anything, if the condition is true, then this will be executed, and else means if the condition is not satisfied, that it will go to the else section. Then it will execute the other side of the logic. Suppose you want to compare two variable, the values, which one is greater. We often come across this situation where we need to compare the values of two variables. What is the comparison? Comparison is there are two values, they can be equal, they can be greater than one another. If there are two values a and b, and there can be three case. One is a is greater than b, another one is b is greater than a. Third condition or the third case is a and b are equal. So this is one example. You can have other examples, like if there is one integer, you want to check whether that integer is divisible by 2. That means whether it is even or odd. In that case, you will check if that variable is divisible by 2, then it is odd, even. And if it is divisible, not divisible by 2, then it is odd. So having this basic idea why we need if else, we are going to the dev C++ IDE. We'll try with example. So let's write one program on if else. So these are the header files I have included. So we are writing the main. Main is actually the function which is declared in the compiler, and we have to define this main function in the program, and the compiler starts executing from this main. The first instruction will be executed, then the second, then the third. This way the compiler will execute the program. Let's try the IDE dev C++. Just writing one program to check the IDE, how to compile and how to execute. So we are saving this program, and we are okay. So first, say I'm copying this program. Why I'm copying this program? How to start this dev C++ and how to write uh, programs, how to start. So before you start, writing a program, you have to do one thing. You have to go to the new section in file menu. Then you have to go to the project section. Then you have to create one project. Suppose you can name the project. Suppose if else, any name you can give. Then you go to the select the C project, then as empty project, then you create the project. Project means which will store your uh, this program file, this kind of repository, or the total bundle, you can say, or you can say it's a folder. So this is your project where untitled 4 uh, file source file is created, where there is no statement. So you'll be writing the programs, and you can rename this untitled 4 also. So here I'm pasting the program, not just written. This is actually the folder in if else folder, if else project folder. Inside that you have this file. So now you try to save this. So here you see when you click save, you have this untitled uh, 4.c. So you can rename this again if underscore else. This is the program name. So it's a source C type of file. It's called source code. See, source file is written. I will discuss about the source file, object file, and executable file later in the subsequent lectures. So once we created this project file folder, and we have created the file, source file, and here we have written our program. So now we can compile. What is the compilation? Compilation means, see, there are some errors. What is the error? So it is saying something is missing. So anything we have missed. So hash include, again I'm writing stdio dot h hash include dot h. So now I'm saving this, all these things saved. Now again I'm going to the execute option, and there are two things. One is compilation and another is compile and run. So we are compiling. What is compilation? Compilation means it is, the compiler is converting this source file, that is a high level code, into executable code, and so that the machine can understand. So after compilation you can run the program. See, hello world is printed. So this is actually the program which actually prints hello world on the screen. So our task is not this, printing hello world on the screen. We are just testing the compiler. So here we are, starting our program. We will check two variable, the values of two variables. One is a, another one is b. So we are creating a and b as integer. We have integer a, we have integer a, b. These are the variables, and what we can do, a is equal to 5. We can redefine the values of a and b. B is 4. So here we are checking. This is how the if and else works. If a is very simple, a is greater than b, we are checking. This way the compiler will check this condition automatically. You no need to do anything. You write if a is greater than b, means you are telling the compiler to check the value of a and b, whether a is greater than b or not, because you have given the logic greater. So if a and a is greater than b, then obviously you can write print f, print f, a is greater, and you can give semicolon, and if a is not greater than b, if it is not satisfied, then else part will come. Yeah, else again, if this is not satisfied, then it means b is greater. So this is the simple version of comparing two variables, but provided we have to keep in mind that in this case actually, uh, in this case, a and b are not equal. Considering the fact that a and b are not equal, it is given, suppose if a and b are equal, then this program will not work. If this condition is satisfied, then this program will work fine. So in this case we are, again, why this program will not work, we'll come to this later. So we are again compiling, and successfully compiled, then we can run it. So see, a is greater, because see, the value of a is greater than b. Simply you can check it. Now what we can do, we can give other values. Suppose b is 40. So in this case, you have to recompile the program so that the changes you made it should reflect in the file executable file after compilation. If you directly run, then this will not the change will not reflect in this on the already created runnable or the executable file. So you have to recompile that program so that changes reflect in the executable file. So again we are running. So b is greater because the value of b is greater than a. Simply by looking at this values you can see this. So you can make one thing. You can make these values dynamic. How you will make these values dynamic? It is predefined. So inside the source code it is given. So it's not a good practice. You can do one thing. So you can use one. Uh, uh, you can use a dynamic printf. Here we will not write a is greater. We will write enter to integer. Specifically enter to integer the expression which will actually make new line, which we already discussed in the last lectures. If you have any kind of query, any kind of doubt regarding creation of variables, declaring the variables, defining the variables, taking inputs through printf and scanf, you can go through the last videos. See here percent d, comma, and percent of a, comma, and percent of b. Here we have taken the values of a and b through keyboard. So when you will run the program, at that time the program will ask for values. The values are not given by default. Again, we have to recompile the program, and we can now run the program and see. Now it is not showing any result. Now it is asking for values because we have created the program in such a way where we are taking values from the user, writing printf and scanf. Scanf actually does this, which actually see the cursor is blinking and it is actually prompting the user to give values. So here we are giving 4 as the value of a, and we are giving 2 the value of b. So in this case a is greater because see a the value of 4 a is greater than the value of b. So we can run this program again. We no need to change in the program any values. It's because we have created the program dynamic. So here we are giving value 6 the value of a, we are giving 8 the value of b. Here b is greater. So if they are equal, what will happen if we give values like 5? Although we have said, we have considered before writing the program that they cannot be equal. If we put equal value of a and b, they must the program should say they are equal, but we have not written any code for that. So we'll write it. So let's check it out. What is the result? In this case, b is greater means it is incorrect. Program is running because there is no syntactical error, means in the code there is no error. Writing the statements, we have not made any mistake, such that we have not made any mistake like semicolon issue, pass bracket, or any kind of syntactical issue writing the code. Here we see the semantic error, means we have no logic actually for that section. For equal, whether if they are equal, we are not checking that. In this case we can change the program like that. If a is greater than b, this is fine, means the logic is a is greater than b. If it is okay, then if it is satisfied, then this will be printed. There is no need to nothing to change in this section. See how many conditions left. There are two conditions left. After this, there are two conditions left. There can be b can be greater than a, and they can be equal. So in this else section, actually there are two conditions left. That's why when you give 5 this condition is not satisfied and it is coming to the else part. In else part we are not checking these two conditions. That's why in the last last time when we run the program, we get the value, we get the result that b is greater when we entered 5 and 5. So because in the else section there is nothing else, else means otherwise you do this, anything then this, anything then this, a is greater than b, you do this. That's why it is printing b is greater, which is not correct. So in this case we can do one thing, inside the else you can do one thing. See, inside the else you do one thing, you can give another if b is greater than a. Actually we are separating the else part. In else part we are just separating. If this, if b is greater than, hope you can understand. If you have any kind of query, write in the comment section. Else here you see b is greater, and if this is not satisfied, inside the else, in the otherwise section there are two things. One is b is greater and they are equal. So if b is greater than a, this will be printed fine. But if this condition is also not satisfied, then automatically it is understood that a and b are equal, because no explicit implicitly it is understood. No need to write then if a and b are equal or not. So it is because if this is condition is not satisfied, else in else we have two conditions. Else part is divided into two, if and this if actually relates to this else, or this else is, this else relates to this if. This if these else are in a similar level, when this doesn't work, this will execute. Inside that there is if and this will execute. So this way you have to understand the hierarchy also. Automatically you will understand when you will do the program. Subsequently you will understand this is the first program, no need to worry about it. You will solve many programs and you will be solving problems uh, side by side. You can use your uh, PC, you can open the video and you can run your programs watching video side by side. You can install C++ from internet and you can start writing C programs. Only by watching these videos will help 50%, and the rest of the 50% you will get by writing code. So see, we are compiling the program, there is no error. We have written the code correctly, we are running. So again we are giving 5 and 5. We are giving equal values now, and they are equal. Now it is giving correct result because we have written condition for that. We are running. We are giving 8, the value of a and b 7. So a is greater. So 8. Again we are executing, and in this case we are giving 6 and 9. So in this case b will be greater, b is greater. So now the program is working fine. So you go through the program and you try to understand how it is working, and you just write your own code, your own compiler, and make comment when you have successfully written the program. I want to see the comment. Students, best of luck for that. This is all about if else. This is the basic part of if else. We'll be solving problems on if else subsequently. It's not only video regarding if else. This is the first video for basic understanding. You solve this, you write some code in if else. So at this time we can write another another where we are another program where we are checking whether variable is even or odd. So here we are deleting all these sections. We no need to keep this. We need to keep this thing. You can understand. So we do not need two variables here. We need only one variable, and we will not enter two. We'll enter one integer. We are making the changes. So here these will not come. Actually here the logic. So we have taken the value of a using the scanner, and after that we are checking this a is actually, this is another logic. We just go through this. Here you divide a by 2 and check the remainder. This will actually give the remainder of the division operation. It will divide a by 2 and it will find out what is the remainder. So if the value of a is 5, so here this will not give result 2, it will give result 1, because the operator is called modulus operator, which will actually return the remainder, not the result, not the quotient. So if the remainder is equal to 0, it means it is divisible by 2, means it is a is an even integer, else it is not divisible. So we have no other conditions, we have only two conditions, and that can be checked by only one. If it is not satisfied, we can directly say that a is an odd integer. This is the program. What you can do, you can save the program and you can again go to the compile section, you compile it and there is no error. You can go to the run section, run it. So if you give any integer 7, it should show odd. So we made one mistake actually. What is the mistake? We are not able to execute the newer version. So here, yes, we have to change one mistake. So again we are compiling. We need to replace the changes in the executable file. That's why we are recompiling. So let's run it. So again we are giving input as 7. See, the value 7a is odd integer because it is not divisible by 2. Remainder is coming 1, so 1 is not equal to 0. So now again we are running, we are giving 6, so it should show even. Yes, a is an even integer because see, if a is 6 modulus 2 means the remainder is 0 here, because there is no remainder, only 0. 0 is equal to 0. It means it is divisible by 2, means it's an even integer. So with this example, we are closing this video. All the best, and we so all the best. You practice these two programs, or you can practice other programs, other problems based on these if else. All the best.